Hello friends, in last lecture we solved question number 15 from your material. Now we'll continue. So question number 16th, it's first one. 16th, question 16, it's first one. The angles of elevation, okay, the angles of elevation of the top of a tower of the top of a tower from 2 points from 2 points at a distance of at a distance of a meter and b meter from the base of the tower, from the base of the tower, and in the same straight line, and in the same straight line with it are complementary, with it are complementary. Prove that height of the tower is, prove that the height of the tower, height of the tower is root AB meters. Okay, that we have to prove. Okay, you have to also remember this because sometime they do ask this question directly in the MCQ. So question says the angle of elevation of the top of the tower. So first of all, we'll draw the diagram. So let this is the tower. Okay. Now angle of elevation of this top of this tower from 2 points. They are at the distance of a meters and b meters from the tower. That means let this is be the first point and let this is be the second point. It means the first point is a meters away from the foot of the tower. So this is a. And the second point is b meter away from the tower. Okay, it is written that from a tower from 2 points at a distance of a meters and b meters from the base of the tower. This is the base of the tower. Okay, the points are at the distance of a meter and b meter from the base of the tower. So let this is the tower ABC. Sorry, AB is the tower. Let the point of observations are C and D. Now these two angles are complementary. It is given these angles are complementary. That means if one angle is theta, then another angle will be 90 minus theta. Okay, angles are complementary. That means their sum must be 90. So these are the angles. Might be this is theta or this is 90 minus theta. Doesn't matter. Okay, so suppose AB represents the tower. AB represents the tower. C and D are points of observation. Points of observation. Points of observation. Okay, C and D are at the distance of at the distance of A and B from B. Okay, A is at the distance, C is distance of A meters and B is at the distance of B meter from this point B. That is, I can write BC is equal to A, that is BC equal to A, and BD is equal to B. Okay, further it is written that angles angle of elevation of the top of the tower from these points are complementary. Now, angle of elevation, angle of elevation of point A, of point A from B and C, from B and angles of elevation of point A from B and from B and C, from C and D, from C and D are complement, are complement of each other, each other. That is, if angle ACD, that is, if angle ACB is equal to theta, then angle ADB, angle ADB is equal to 90 minus theta. Okay, now, okay, what we have to find? We have to find the AB. One thing more I can write. Suppose, suppose, okay, AB is height of AB is, or height of tower is, height of tower is h meters, that is AB is equal to h. So now in triangle ABC, now in triangle ABC, tan theta is equal to perpendicular upon base, that is AB upon BC, AB upon BC. Now tan theta remains as it is because we do not have the value of theta. Okay, it is not given it is 30 degree or 60 degree or 45 or whatever. Simply it is, they are complementary. So tan theta is equal to, now AB is H, BC is A. Okay, let it be equation number 1. Okay, now in triangle ADB, now in triangle ADB, ADB, now tan of 90 minus theta is equal to, again perpendicular upon base, that is AB upon BD, AB upon BD. So it is AB. Okay. So here further I can write, therefore, see this is tan 90 minus theta, and if you know the basic about trigonometry, this is the trigonometric ratio of complementary angle. So tan 90 minus theta can be written as cot theta. So here I write, therefore cot theta is equal to h upon b. Now what we have to find? We have to find the value of h, root ab. Now this is tan theta equal to h upon a. Now so many things can be done. Either I multiply these two because I know tan theta into cot theta equal to 1, or simply I reciprocate it, so I will get the value of tan theta that will be b upon h, and then I can compare these two. So both the methods are correct. So here I am writing, there 1 upon cot theta is equal to b upon h. Therefore tan theta is equal to b upon h. Let it be equation number 2. Now from first and second, from first and second, first is tan theta equal to h upon h, second is tan theta equal to b upon h. Both in these two equations right sides are equal, so sorry, left sides are equal, so rights will be equal. So I can write, therefore h upon a is equal to b upon h, which gives you, therefore h square is equal to ab. Okay, therefore h square is equal to ab, and therefore finally I can write h is equal to root ab meters, and h is represent the height of the tower. So here we got h equal to root ab. So please note it down, then we'll see the next question. Okay, I hope you got the concept. Here angles were not given, but relation between angle was given. It was given that angles are complementary. So I consider this angle as theta, so definitely that will be 90 minus theta. Here I wrote theta minus 90, actually it should be 90 minus theta. Okay, this angle must be 90 minus theta. Okay, and over here simply I applied the tan theta over here, so I got AB upon A, that is H upon A. Then again in this triangle ABD, by applying tan of 90 minus theta, I got cot theta equal to H upon B. So here that can also be done, that if I multiply tan theta into cot theta, so on the left hand side I will get 1, and on the right hand side I will get H square upon AB, which is H square is equal to AB. Or I did in this way, I obtain the value of tan theta from both the equation, and by comparing them I got H equal to root AB. Okay, now next question we'll just discuss second part of the 16th. You can see it is exactly based on this question. Over here uh, again the angle of elevations are given which are complement of each other, and instead of giving distances as A and B, it is given that points are at the distance of 4 meters and 9 meters. Okay, so you have to prove the height of the tower will be height of the tower will be 6 meter. But obvious, if I put A equal to 4 and B equal to 9, this will become root 36, and hence length will be length will be 6 meters. Height of the tower will be 6 meters. So that question is based on this only. So remember this as a statement as well, because sometimes they directly give you, instead of A might be A by 2 is given, here might be 2B is given, and they do ask you this. So when the distances are A and B, height of the tower is root AB. Also remember the angle must be complementary. Now instead of by giving the angle as theta and 90 minus theta, they might give you that one angle is 23 degree and another is 67 degrees. Then you may get confused that we neither know the value of 1023, neither we know the value of 1067, but these values, if you see, are complement of each other. As the angles are complement of each other, definitely height of the tower will be product of the distance of those points from the foot of the tower. Okay, so this is the next question, question number 17th from your material. Question says the angle of elevation of a jet plane from a point on the ground. Okay, so let me say this is the ground, and let me say this is the point from where we are observing a jet plane. Right? This is with the jet plane. Now, angle of elevation of this jet plane is 60 degree. Okay. This is be 60 degree. Just for a while, let this is the jet plane, and this angle of elevation is 60 degree. After a flight of 30 seconds, the angle of elevation has measured 30 degree. Now, here you have to observe. See, this is the point of observation. You are over here. Now, angle of elevation after 30 seconds becomes 30 degree. After 30 seconds, it becomes 30 degree. So now you have to think your own that whether this, okay, first of all let me take this as 60 degree because it doesn't looks like 60 degree. Okay. Okay, this is the jet plane and this angle is 60 degree. Now it is given after 30 seconds angle becomes 30 degree, but obviously you have to think that this jet plane is moving in this way, because if I say the jet is moving in this way, so after 30 seconds it will be something like over here, and angle will be greater than the previous angle. It means jet plane is actually moving away from the observer or with respect to the observer. Okay, so this is 60 degree, and after 30 seconds, let this is the angle. Okay, and the jet plane is at the same height. Okay, so something over here I am saying after 30 seconds if jet plane is reaching, so this will be the angle in that case. Something like this you will get the diagram. Angle of elevation, so suppose this is the first position of the jet plane, this is the position after 30 seconds. Now in first case, let this is O, this Q, Z. So angle AOQ is 60 degree and BOZ is, or BOZ is 30 degree. Okay, so let us describe the diagram. Suppose O is the point of observation, point of observation. Okay, A is the initial position, initial position of jet plane. B is the position of plane, B is the position of the jet plane after 30 seconds. After 30 seconds. Okay. Angles of elevation, angles of elevation of A and B, of A and B from O are 60 degree and 30 degree respectively. That is, I can say angle AOZ or angle AOQ is equal to alpha is equal to 60 degree, and angle BOZ, and angle BOZ is equal to, angle BOZ is equal to theta is equal to 30 degree. Okay, other than that, it is given if the jet plane is flying at a height of at a constant height 4500 root 3, that means this is the height AQ or BZ. Also AQ is equal to BZ is equal to 4500 root 3, 4500 root 3 meters. Okay, now what we have to find? We have to find the speed of the jet. So we'll assume let the speed of jet be x. Okay. Also suppose speed of jet plane is x meter per second, is x meter per second. Okay, so this is the description about the diagram. Now we'll simplify this, or we'll try to get the value of x. So think for a while that how you will proceed, then I will give you its solution. See, we have to find the speed, and we know speed is equal to distance upon time. So actually we need distance and time. Time it is already given, it takes 6 seconds from Q to Z or from A to B. Now we have to find the distance AB. That means we have to find QZ. So QZ can be obtained by OZ minus OQ. So first we'll find OZ with triangle with the help of triangle ABZ. Then we'll find OQ with the help of triangle OAQ, and their difference gives us QZ, that is AB. Okay, and by applying the formula we'll be able to get its speed. So now in triangle in triangle OBZ, in triangle OBZ, tan alpha, tan alpha is equal to, sorry, in triangle BOZ or OBZ, tan theta. Tan theta is equal to perpendicular upon base. Perpendicular is BZ, base is OZ. Now, therefore, tan. Now, theta is, in this angle is theta, and which is 30 degree. So, tan 30 is equal to BZ, that is height. Okay, BZ is height, that is 4500, 4500 root 3 upon OZ. Now, tan 1 upon root 3 is equal to 4500 root 3 upon OZ. So from here I can say OZ is equal to 4500 root 3 multiplied by root 3. So OZ is equal to, now root 3 is 3. Okay, so 3 into 4500, 13500 meters. That is the value of OZ. Now after getting OZ, now we'll find OQ. So now in triangle AOQ, in triangle AOQ, again tan of alpha is equal to perpendicular upon base. For triangle AOQ, perpendicular is AQ, base is OQ. Okay, therefore now alpha is 60 degree, that is tan 60 is equal to, now AQ is actually height of the flight, height of the jet plane, that is equal to 4500 root 3. Here it is 4500 root 3 upon OQ. Now tan 60 is equal to 4500 root 3 upon OQ. So here root 3 and root 3 I can cancel out, and I will get OQ is equal to 4500 meters. So I got the value of OQ as well as OZ. Now I will find QZ. Why I need QZ? Because QZ is the distance traveled by jet plane in 6 seconds. Actually QZ is equal to AB. So AB is the distance traveled by jet plane in 6 seconds. So we have distance, we have time. So it will be easy to get speed. So further, over here I am solving it further. Okay, now in triangle, not in triangle, now I can write QZ. Now QZ is equal to OZ minus OQ. OZ minus OQ. Therefore, QZ is equal to, now OZ is 13500. Okay, 13500. OQ is 4500. Okay, so here I will get the length of QZ. So QZ is equal to 9000 meter. Okay, therefore AB is equal to 9000 meter. Okay, QZ and AB are equal. Now speed of jet, speed of jet S is equal to, speed is equal to distance upon time. Distance, okay, upon time. Distance is AB, time is how much second? 30 seconds. 30 seconds. So speed is equal to, now AB is 9000 upon 30. So this gives you 300 meter per second. Okay, this is 300 meter per second. Speed is 300 meter per second. So that is my final answer. Speed is equal to distance upon time. Distance AB, time 30 second given. AB we obtained over here. So please note it down. Then we'll see the next question. Okay, so after this we'll see the next question. Okay, so this is the next question, question number 18th. It's first part. I'm solving the first one over here. Second one is based on this only. So it says if the angle of elevation of a cloud from a point h meters above the lake is beta. Okay, that means suppose I'm considering this is the lake. Okay, I'm considering this is the lake. Okay, now h meter above this. Okay, h meter above the lake. Okay, there is a cloud. Okay, from a if the angle of elevation of a cloud from a point h meters above it. Okay, suppose I go h meters above the lake. From this point, if a cloud has been observed, then angle of elevation is beta. Okay, this is beta. Again, understand in a proper way. This is the lake. Okay, here this is the lake, and from this lake, if I go h meters above, okay, and then if I observe a cloud, then its angle of elevation is beta. Now, further it is given, and the angle of depression of its reflection. Definitely, if there is a cloud, then we may get its reflection. Okay, so now when this reflection uh, was observed from the same point, okay, from the same point, then angle of depression is of the cloud, image of the cloud, let I'm saying it q for a while, then this angle of depression is alpha. Okay, so this is actually lake, this complete is lake. Okay, here this point q is actually in the lake. Okay, again, now if you know the laws of reflection, that says the distance of image from the mirror and the distance of object from the mirror are same. That means if I consider this lake as a mirror, then distance of this point C, okay, from this point for a while, let this point is A and this point is B. So distance of C from B must be distance of B and Q. In other words, BC must be equal to BQ. Okay, so that is the question. Angle of elevation of a cloud from a point h meters above the lake. So this, if this point I say is z, so this will again become h. Okay, and this for a while if I assume x, so uh, this distance, that means from this point to this is equal to b plus h plus x actually, isn't it? If this point is b. Okay, so I explain you the question, try to understand, read the question again, look at the diagram, and then we'll proceed. Okay, so now before I proceed, let me explain you the question once again. question says that there is a cloud. First of all, there is a lake. So this I am considering is the surface of the lake AB. Okay. So I have to go h meters above, and from there, when it was observed a cloud, angle of elevation was found to be beta. And from the same point, when it was observed the uh, image of the cloud within the lake, the angle was found to be alpha. So what we have to prove that height of the cloud, okay, this height of the cloud, that means BC, this is the height of the cloud, is equal to h tan beta plus tan alpha upon tan alpha minus tan beta. So let us start. First of all, we'll describe the diagram. So suppose AB is the surface of the lake. Okay, let this point is D. D is a point h meters above the lake, that is AD equal to h. Okay, h is a point, sorry, D is a point h meters above the lake. Okay, now also let C is the cloud, C is the cloud, and Q is image of cloud, and Q is image of the cloud. Okay, now beta is the angle of elevation and alpha is the angle of depression. Okay, beta is angle of elevation, beta is angle of elevation of cloud C, and alpha is angle of depression of image of cloud, and alpha is angle of depression of point Q, of point Q, or of Q, that is image of cloud C in the lake. Okay, now AD is equal to BZ is equal to H. Also let CZ is equal to X. Now BQ is equal to CB. Okay, this BQ must be equal to BC. BQ is equal to BC, that is equal to X plus H. Also I can write, see, I need to use two triangles DCZ. Over here I need this CZ, which I am taking X. Then I will take triangle DZB. Over there I need this ZQ. So also ZQ is equal to, I can write ZB plus BQ. Therefore ZQ is equal to, now ZB is H, okay, ZB is H, and BQ is X plus H. That is, this will become 2H plus X, or X plus 2H, ZQ. Now I will start applying the trigonometric ratio. So before I move ahead, again I took this portion as X, and this BZ is equal to H. It is given, it is equal to AD. We also know that the distance of the object from the mirror must be equal to the distance of image from the mirror. That means BQ must be equal to BC. So I got BQ equal to BC is equal to x plus h. Now I need ZB. When I apply the trigonometric ratio on this triangle, I need ZB over there. So ZQ over there. So ZQ is equal to ZB plus BQ. ZQ is equal to ZB plus BQ. ZB is equal to H and BQ equal to X plus H. So this is X plus 2H. One thing more we will say also, I need this DZ and AB as well. Okay, DZ actually I need. So here I can say also DZ, okay, not actually required. So let it be like that only. So now in triangle, in triangle, first I am taking triangle CDZ. Now in triangle CDZ, tan of beta is equal to perpendicular upon base, that is CZ upon DZ. Okay, therefore tan beta is equal to CZ. Now CZ is x upon and DZ is DZ. So therefore here I do write DZ is equal to x upon tan beta. X upon tan beta. Okay, so here I am leaving this as it is dz. Now I will come to triangle DZQ. So now in triangle DZQ, again here I can apply tan alpha, which is again perpendicular upon base. Perpendicular is ZQ and base is DZ. So here I can write tan alpha is equal, further I am solving over here. So tan alpha, therefore I do write tan alpha is equal to, now ZQ is uh, x plus 2h, and dz remains as it is. Therefore I can write dz is equal to x plus 2h upon tan alpha. Okay, so now think what we have to do next, because we need the height of the cloud. That means we need ZQ. We need we need BC, length of BC. So think over that, then I will give you its solution further. Okay, here you can see it is the value of dz from first equation. Let it be first and let this be the second. From first and second we have the value of dz. So we'll equate them. From first and second I can say x plus 2h upon tan alpha is equal to x upon tan beta. Okay, so note it down up to this point, then we'll see how to simplify this and how to get the required value. Please note it down up to this point. So let us solve this over here. Okay, now from here I'll cross multiply, so I will get x tan beta plus 2h tan beta is equal to x tan alpha. Okay, so x tan beta minus x tan alpha is equal to minus 2h tan beta. Or to remove this minus sign, I do write x tan beta, sorry, tan alpha minus x tan beta is equal to 2h tan beta. From here, if I take x common, here, I'll get tan alpha minus tan beta is equal to 2h tan beta. Therefore, from here I'll get x is equal to 2h tan beta divided by tan alpha minus tan beta. What I did? Okay, simply I tried to get the value of x. I took x over here, x and alpha over here, and this over here. So this will become negative. This will go over, then this will become negative. Now to make it positive, I took x common. So to make it positive, I wrote x tan alpha over here and x tan beta over. That means you can say I multiplied with the minus sign throughout. From these two, I took x common, so tan alpha minus tan beta, and over here it is 2h tan beta. Now this will come over here, so this is the value of x. But we do not require the value of x. We need the value of BC, that is x plus h. So note it down this portion, then we'll see it further. Okay, so now see from the diagram you can see we have to find the height of the cloud, that is actually equal to BC. And also you can see from the diagram that BC is equal to x plus h, isn't it? X plus h. We have the value of x. If I add h in this, I will get the required answer. So now height of cloud BC is equal to x plus h. Therefore, BC is equal to, now instead of at the place of x, I do write 2h tan beta upon tan alpha minus tan beta plus h. Okay, so BC or CB is equal to 2h tan beta plus h tan alpha minus tan beta. Okay, here you have to take the LCM. So let me write the denominator. It remains as it is, that is tan alpha minus tan beta. And over here, what I will get? 2h tan beta plus h multiplied by tan alpha minus tan beta. Okay, now if I open the bracket, I will get CB is equal to 2h tan beta plus h tan alpha minus h tan beta divided by tan alpha minus tan beta. So CB is equal to, now see, 2h tan beta minus h tan beta gives you h tan beta. So h tan beta plus h tan alpha upon tan alpha minus tan beta. So this is my final answer. Just I have to take h common and I will get the result, that is tan beta plus tan alpha upon tan alpha minus tan beta. So please note it down. Then we'll see the see this question is actually one of the extra question. This question is not from the your textbook. So actually I take it an extra question. Now we'll see one more extra question. But before that, note it down. Then we'll discuss the second part of 18 and then we come to the next question. But first of all, note it down. Okay. Now see the second part of the question number 18. This is exactly same as the first part. The only thing is that instead of giving alpha, beta and h, it is given 60 degree, 30 degree and okay 60 meters. Okay, instead of h it is given 60 meter. Instead of beta it is given 30 degree. An angle of reflection is that is alpha equal to 60 degree. So actually these changes are given. This is 60 degree, this is 30 degree and this is 60. So by with the same method, just putting these values, you may get the answer. Okay, so after this, we'll see one extra question. Okay, so this is the next question. A round balloon of radius r subtends an angle alpha. Now, first of all, you should understand what is the meaning of subtends an angle. Okay, subtends an angle. Suppose I consider this is a balloon for a while. Then subtends an angle, that means if I draw two rays from end to end of this diameter, then this angle is called to be, or suppose this is observer, then I will say this is the angle subtended by, this is a subtended angle on the balloon. Okay, so further it is given while the angle of elevation of the center is, now from the same point if someone looks at the center, then angle of elevation will be beta. Okay, this angle will be beta. Then you have to prove that height of the center from the ground. That means this height, this length is equal to r sine beta cosec alpha by 2. So let us draw its diagram in a proper way. So we have a balloon, round balloon. Okay, something like this. And here I'm assuming this is the center of the balloon. Okay, this we have to find height. Okay, this we have to find. Now angle of elevation of its center is also given. So first I'm drawing that, angle of elevation of its center. Okay, this angle is actually beta, angle of elevation of the center of the balloon from the point on the ground is beta. So this angle, if I say this is O, then angle OAB is equal to beta. Now if I talk about the angle subtended, so okay, if I draw this diameter, okay, then something like this. This will be the angle subtended by, okay, this is the angle subtended. Similarly over here. Okay, so if I name it Q and I name it Z, then angle ZAQ is equal to, sorry, ZAQ is equal to alpha and OAB is beta. Okay, again I am repeating, it is given that a round balloon subtends an angle alpha at the eye of the observer. This I am considering is the eye of the observer. This angle, complete angle is alpha and this complete angle is beta. So let us describe the diagram. Suppose A is the eye of the observer. Okay, O is the center of the round balloon. Okay, now balloon subtends. Now balloon subtends subtends uh, alpha at the eye of the at the eye of the observer, at the eye of the observer, that is angle ZAQ, that is angle ZAQ is equal to alpha. Also angle of elevation of the center of the balloon is beta, that is angle OAB, angle OAB is equal to beta. Okay, now see, here again we have to apply trigonometric ratio in two triangles. One will be definitely OAB because this angle is 90 degree. Now we need one more angle because here you can see there are both angles. So when I take triangle OAB, definitely I will get something related to beta because this angle is beta. Now how to get trigonometric ratio is in alpha. Now see, if you know that angle between the radius and the tangent, now you should able to understand what tangent. Tangent is a line or line segment or ray which touch the circle at single point. And we also know that this angle at the point of contact is 90 degree. That means angle OZA is 90 degree. So second trigonometric ratio we can apply over here. Now if I apply trigonometric ratio over here, I must need this angle. Okay. Now this complete angle is alpha, so this will be alpha by 2, half of that. Why? There are two ways. Actually, we can prove it by congruency. In triangle OAQ and OAZ, these two triangles. this upper triangle and this lower triangle. In this I can say AZ equal to AQ because the tangent from the exterior point to a circle are equal. These two angles are 90 degree. Okay, and third thing I can say radii of the same circle. So these two triangles will be congruent. So by CBCT I will say these two angles are equal, so each will be alpha by 2. So no need to give that much description that how you obtain alpha by 2, but definitely here we get alpha by 2. Now we can proceed. So try by your own, then I will give it the remaining solution. Okay, so directly I will write the measure of the angles. Now I will write angle Z, angle Z AO, angle ZAO is equal to alpha by 2, and angle OZA and angle OZA is equal to 90 degree. Now in triangle OAB, now in triangle OAB I can write, see here this angle is beta, and you can see beta is relation in sine, so we'll go with sine. Sine beta is equal to perpendicular upon hypotenuse. So for this angle beta, perpendicular is OB, isn't it? Perpendicular is OB and hypotenuse is AO. Hypotenuse is AO. Therefore, I can write AO is equal to OB upon sine beta. Okay, what we need? Length of OB. So better to write, therefore OB is equal to AO sine beta. Let this be first. Now in triangle ZAO, now in triangle ZAO I can say sine alpha by 2. Okay, I am taking this angle, this much angle, only this much, sine alpha by 2. So again this is perpendicular upon hypotenuse. Now for this angle, perpendicular is definitely OZ, side opposite to this, but hypotenuse is AO. Hypotenuse is AO. So here I can write AO is equal to OZ upon sine alpha by 2. Therefore, AO is equal to, now sine alpha by 2 can be written as cosec 1 upon sine alpha by 2 can be written as cosec alpha by 2 into OZ. And OZ is actually the radii of the circle, isn't it? OZ is the radius, that is R. It is given in the question of radius R. So here you can describe over here anywhere. Here I am writing also OZ is equal to R, radius of the circle. Now simply what you have to do, you have to put this value of OA over here. Okay, so here I am writing AO is equal to R cosec alpha by 2. Now put AO is equal to R cosec alpha by 2. Put R is equal to, sorry, AO equal to R cosec alpha by 2 in first. Okay, so let us see, here we'll get our answer. So now OB is equal to, now OB you can see is the distance of the center of the, or height of the center of the balloon. So OB is equal to AO sine beta. Therefore OB is equal to, now at the place of AO I have to write R. So OB is equal to R cosec alpha by 2 sine beta. Hence proof. Okay, so please note it down. Okay, so that is all about this lecture as well as this chapter. Now in next lecture we'll start new chapter, that is surface area and volumes. Till then, bye. Thank you. Take care. Stay at